Hello and welcome to The Real Sex Education. I'm Diggory and I'm joined as ever by accredited sex relationship therapist Cate Campbell. Hello, Mum.
Hello, Diddums.
Hello, Mummy.
Hello, Diddums. How's my baby boy today?
I'm good. I'm so good. I feel a lot better now. I feel like this is how we should start every episode.
Instead of a slap round the face with a wet kipper.
That's essentially what happens, every other time. Wow,
Yeah.
Well, we are off to a flying start. People who are very aware and very observant will see that this episode is all about baby voice. I've sort of set out a mission statement for this episode.
Oh.
What's the deal with baby voice? Why do we talk to babies like, hello, little one, and not like, all right, mate, how's it going? And then why do we talk to our partners the same? Because there's one thing talking about babies like that, but not my baby. But it's so fun that we're talking about this today because we got a lovely message from one of our listeners that says this. Hi guys, thank you so much for answering my question regarding IVF. Me and my partner want to happily announce that our IVF was successful and we're expecting twins in December.
Oh, amazing. Congratulations.
I know. We do not yet know the gender. All the injections were horrible, but it was worth it. My partner agreed with one of the recent episodes you did about sperm donors, but my partner says he had the easiest role for the IVF but found it incredibly awkward to be in a clinical setting, and he says that the pot/dish are too small, and just says, what are you men like? My partner's been so supportive, and we have made sure to have our intimate moments that don't include sexual contact, e.g. hugs. Just wanted to let you know that the positive outcomes for any of our listeners that are considering IVF, it may be scary, but it's worth it. So
isn't that lovely?
It's so great. So it won't be long until that person will be doing baby voice to their kids, I'm sure. So what is baby voice? I'm often referred to as parentese or baby talk. What is it?
Well, it's what we do with babies, or sort of automatically quite often. I mean, people just find themselves doing it because it's a way of talking to babies so that you reflect how they're feeling. So if you talk to a baby who's crying and you are saying, oh, dear little baby, you hurting yourself, you need your nappy changed, or something like that. You're doing a frowny face so they can see you're concerned, but you're doing this cute little voice, which makes it very clear what you're saying if they can understand it. But also, even if they can't understand it, they know that you're saying, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to make it better. You're reflecting back how they feel. It's called marked mirroring. And if you don't do that with babies, if you don't do the marked mirroring and show them that you understand how they feel, it's called lack of attunement. And babies who experience lack of attunement tend to have problems later on. Wow. So it's something we do want to do. And because if you reflect exactly how the baby was feeling, if you scream back at it, then you're going to terrify it. So instead of that, we do the face, which says, oh dear. But, But if you do the grrr face or a frowny face without the voice, which is so cute, then
higher pitched, exaggerated intonation, simplified language.
Yes, then you'd scare the baby. So babies calm right down with that.
It's sort of melodic. They say this parentese, which is more likely to like grab their attention and hold it. Yeah. Often it's slow, clear, and repetitive.
Miss Rachel. Have you heard Miss Rachel?
Whoa, what's that?
Miss Rachel is a performer who performs for babies in the States. And and if you go on TikTok, there are all these babies responding to Miss Rachel as she comes on to her program. She says, hi, how are you? And I can't do it like Miss Rachel does it. She does it. I mean, it's amazing.
I bet you can. That was incredible.
But the babies who are all wailing their heads off or something, they stop and they go, and they're delighted. They're absolutely, whoa, they're totally away with it. And it's so lovely. She's just so good at it. And she gets exactly the right, she's the melodic master.
The melodic master. Oh, I love that.
Of marked mirroring.
So and people say as well that with that, because when you say, if she came into the room and was like, all right, everyone, how are you? Even with the higher,
no one would look around.
But you know what? Asking the kiddie winks, how are you? This is what they say because they think the slow, clear and repetitive nature of it as well makes it easier, and the facial expressions makes it easier for children to discern what you're saying. And also, like you said, with the exaggerated facial expression stuff, it's easier for them to understand how you're feeling and with the mirroring how they're feeling. Which is so interesting.
So basically what you're doing with babies, if they're upset, you're taking their distress and you're sanitizing it and you're giving it back with a bow and a cherry on the top.
Yeah,
if you like.
And also it's quite validating, isn't it? As a kid.
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Because you're being like, I'm really angry, I'm really pissed off, and you're getting that back, being like, yes, I can understand.
See you are, and
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to help. Yes.
And I'm going to help. Yeah. I love that.
I can remember saying to you,
"Oh no,
oh dear, you little minx, did you wee in Mummy's eye then?"
And had I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Regularly.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was the other day.
Dang.
What?
This is the thing, actually, for all new mums, I will just say I had 2 girls, then I had 2 boys. Yeah. And when you've been used to girls, it's really difficult putting a nappy on. I mean,
there's so much more to deal with.
There's all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Well, it's something for our IVF listeners to think about. Well, they got twins. They don't know the sex yet, so maybe they'll have to contend with that. Yeah, best of luck. Okay, but really, really quickly, it's something we sort of half touched on. You sort of mentioned we're not doing this consciously, are we? Often. We just do it automatically. Yeah. I mean, and some people correct themselves and they say, I'm not going to talk to my baby in that silly voice. Well, more fool you. And what was that word you used where it's like it's the thing where it's like they don't get that?
The lack of attunement. Because if you're just saying this in an ordinary voice, they don't realise. I mean, if I was talking like this to a baby and saying, oh dear, look at this. They do, I mean, it might have the eye contact, but they would not necessarily know that I understood how they felt. It's all the silly voice and the faces and stuff that does it.
And we're not grabbing their attention if it's not the high-pitched, slow, melodic mastery, all that sort of stuff. I mean, what I found really interesting reading about this is one of the reasons we know it's automatic, one of the reasons we know it's unconscious is that it spans across cultures.
Oh, yeah.
Loads of cultures do it. And so you have to, and so you have to think to yourself, well, they can't have all got together ages ago and gone, you know what, this is how we'll speak to our kiddie winks. They all do it. And so it's this like learned inherent thing. It's so fascinating.
And also, I mean, so some cultures will be much more expansive and do really big gestures and things.
I'm imagining Spanish.
Well,
I was
thinking
Italian.
Latin.
Yeah.
So whereas Finland or something, they'd sort of go, oh, look at you. And it was
yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, is that really terrible? Sorry, Finland. But,
Sorry, Finland.
That they're a bit more contained. And that's all okay because the baby still gets it. And it also learns, that what follows the faces and the voice is comfort, food, nappy change, what they need. That person is anticipating what they need. And you said, what happens if you don't get the lack of attunement? You spend the rest of your life looking for it. And people will say to their partners, you never listen to me, you don't hear me. And that's often because partners don't respond with attunement. That, if you're reading the paper and you go, oh, that's awful, oh dear, oh. It's, it's the same kind of thing. And if you go, oh, baby, oh, that's tough, oh, poor you, you're kind of doing the attunement thing and making it clear you really understand. And people will say that I'm not listened to, even when the person does listen and says, I do listen to you, I've heard it 1,000,000 times, but they're not responding in the way that says, I've heard this, I'm hearing you and I care.
Well, wasn't there that thing where, was this the Kinsey Institute or somewhere, did that thing where they watched loads of couples and they said that you can tell a couple's going to break up as if one of the couple goes, oh, there's a bird in the garden, and the other one goes, not being like, because it's you're going, I'm offering this olive branch and I'm offering this thing for us to connect over, and if you just keep going, all right, nice,
it's the Gottman Institute, I think.
The Gottman Institute, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, they put lots of couples in a flat. They put them in a sort of flat apartment situation, and then they film them and watch them and say, oh, this is what you're doing. And doing that was a predictor of divorce.
Wow, there you go. And I think it all stems from this. So then, we obviously talk to our babies like this, but why do we do baby voice in relationships? Why do two adults do it to each other? Because
it's because you're remembering a really important relationship where you got your needs met. So when you have a need, when you're feeling vulnerable, you make a bid for support and comfort. So you may use baby voice to elicit that support and comfort. Or if you're giving it, you also remember that relationship and you may use baby voice to offer support and comfort.
Yeah, and care.
And care.
Yeah, so it's like a I want care and I'm giving care.
Yeah, so
But-
both
and
of
that-
them.
it's that
So you might just get one doing it, but quite often if one does it, the other does it, or then they're both doing it at the same time. And boy, is it awful to watch.
So it's sort of the parent-child roles that they're sort of taking.
They take people, couples, if they're in healthy relationships, take turns in parent-child roles.
Yeah,
but
it
they'll
oscillates or
often
whatever,
use baby voice a lot and names
Right.
for one another, and it's excruciating because it's so intimate. I mean, it's not excruciating watching mothers and babies do it because that it's lovely and it's heartwarming and everything. But when you see it in a couple, you go, oh, ick. Quick, get me out here. Yeah.
This was basically my next thing. Is just like this ends this whole section. Is like, and why is it so fucking horrible? But it's because so it's horrible to me because it's intimate. I'm like,
it's personal,
I shouldn't see that, and it's personal. That's interesting. But also, what if I have that lack of attunement? If I see it, then I'm going to really hate it, right?
Absolutely.
Because I'm jealous, or
well, I mean, because people who are brought up in families where they don't use baby voice quite often are families that aren't really keen on emotion generally, and children can feel quite shamed if they show emotion. I mean, that whole idea: you're a big boy, get up, you're not hurt.
Yeah. Even then, you slightly did it though. There was a slight bit of baby voice in there. You're like, you're a big boy. Yeah, because
Mum.
you're caring. You're a caring, lovely woman.
Of course I am. But well, anyway, we reserve judgment. But the thing is, if you're not used to that, and if you've been made to feel it's awful, and I remember I had a friend whose mum would always go, "Oh, listen to that, listen." She was really disgusted by it, and I used to think, "Oh, it's cute." But I mean, if other people did it to their children, she would really hate it. And I think coming from a family like that, when you witness it, it's going to elicit that shame that you felt when you did it to your mum or needed that kind of care. And so you will want to close it down and feel bad about it.
Wow. So maybe that could be why people get the ache for it. Yeah. But also something I thought was interesting here is that couples that do it, let's say, for example, they're married and they've got kids, but the couple do it to each other.
And it excludes the children.
And the children look on being like, oi, that's our thing.
Yeah. I mean,
that's interesting.
There's a real balance to be struck to allow the children to see what's going on for you. So, I mean, I think these days a lot of people do all their emoting in private and all their loving in private as well. So the children don't see you as a couple really, and they don't see a normal, healthy couple relationship where you have arguments and you make up and all of that. They do it all privately, which is quite traumatizing. But also, so is too much in front of the children. So screaming and shouting in front of children, not good. Or even behind closed doors where people absolutely insist their children don't know. Yes, they do. They sit at the top of the stairs and listen.
Yeah.
But also doing baby voice together and being all soppy and absolutely excludes the children. Yeah. And they're kind of, get a room, which is dead right, do. Yeah. But also, what about us? That you should be doing that with us. We're shut out.
God, wow, that's so interesting. So then if I see a couple doing baby voice to each other, I shouldn't feel bad about being disgusted?
No.
Okay, good.
No, you can be disgusted, but just don't tell them because they'd be really upset.
Oh, that's a shame because I've been weeing in their eyes as well. Yeah, in sort of protest. What?
You were a cute baby. You were a very cute baby.
Yeah,
God, he was a cute baby.
I was quite a big baby.
You were very big. You were so different from your brother, who was very sort of floppy and cute and used to sort of be like a gecko, like you.
Yeah, he was very gecko-y, wasn't he? That's so true. Yeah,
and long. He was very long.
Yeah,
and
huge eyes, big fingers,
like a cow, big. Yes, beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful baby.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful is the
you
word
came out bright red and head swiveling like The Exorcist. The midwife screamed when you sort of sat up and turned your head round in the delivery room. Oh dear, he's looking really upset. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fucking crying over here. This is unbelievable. My brother gets beautiful and I get midwife screaming.
Yeah, she did.
I get Exorcist. He's got gecko.
You looked like the Red King in Alice Through the Looking Glass.
You know what?
Look up the pictures, guys.
I need to look
without
up
the
pictures now.
moustache. He didn't have the moustache, but he did look like the Red King. Have you found him?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That was just what you looked like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What does he look like?
He's got no neck.
He looks like a thumb. He looks like a
there's one picture where he said, "Blew me up," and I think he went up the chimney or something. I don't know. Someone picked him up. But he was very upset, and he makes this sort of disgruntled face. You had that. Anyway, neither here nor there. You were also a very cute baby, but you were just so big you couldn't walk. You used to your legs wouldn't support you.
Yeah, I was quite big. My knees had chins.
You were still walking at 10 months, though.
All your kids were walking
very early, yeah.
Yeah, very early.
Because you just couldn't be cat down, you lot. Terrible. No idea what it was like. Too much marked mirroring.
I'm not going to lie. I could do with some of that right now.
Oh, Diddums.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Thank you. I'm good.
Sorry.
I think...
Did Mummy upset you?
Mummy did upset me,
dear.
yeah.
Bless you. Poor little thing.
Fuck it. Right, we're going to...
Do you need a cuddle?
I can
hug?
hear people puking. We need to go to the break. We need to go. We will see you with a few questions. We're going to get far away from baby voice after this break. Wow.
Bye-bye.
Oh, God, stop.
It's the mailbag. Send Kate your queries to podcast@hatch.com. It's the mailbag. Send Kate your queries. Podcast@hatch with 2 T's.
Hello there. I have a query for Kate. I would like to know when the real sex education mailbag starts.
The Real Sex Education mailbag starts right now.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Real Sex Education. I shat myself
What?
on Spotify.
What?
Asks. Sorry, that's the profile of the person who's asked this question. They're called I Shat Myself on Spotify. And they ask, do you have any good book suggestions specifically about the different types of sex and relationships? I love your guys' podcast. Y'all always make me giggle. Very kind, thank you.
Well, I did look at this and I started making a list.
Good.
Then when I got to about 104, I thought...
Yeah, maybe there's too many books.
I thought there's an awful lot of books. But the one that if you're talking about different kinds of relationships, I wonder if you would like... I've forgotten what it's called.
Fucking hell. 104. 104.
Oh, dear.
And just to ask you, it's definitely not Sex and Love in a New Relationship by Cate Campbell.
No, it's not that.
It's definitely not Sex and Intimacy.
Mind you, Sex and Love in a New Relationship by Cate Campbell is cracking.
What about The Relate Guide to Sex and Intimacy by Cate Campbell?
Really good.
And Sex Therapy, The Basics by Cate Campbell?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those maybe aren't quite right. So
Contemporary Sex Therapy by Cate Campbell.
God, have you written 4 books?
Yeah.
That's a lot of books, isn't it? And I've only got 2 of them next to me now.
I'm trying to remember who wrote it. Anyway, The Ethical Slut.
The Ethical Slut. Yes, I know about this. Now, what's that book about?
So it's about polyamory. It's about ethical relationships, really. It's by Dossie Easton and someone else, I think.
Right.
But the thing is, it's really about exploring relationships, working out how you contract within relationships, consent. It's really good. And in terms of, there are loads of different kinds of relationships, it's a great book. Now, following on from that and heavily influencing another book is Rewriting the Rules by Dr. Meg John Barker.
Ah, yes, Meg John.
Yeah, which is all about the different kinds of relationships. Why do we follow all the traditional rules within relationships? Why aren't we questioning them? Why aren't we doing what we need to do, what works for us? If you're wanting to know about different kinds of relationships, I guess they're the go-to ones.
Brilliant. You know what makes me proud of this podcast is we had one of the first guests we ever had on was Stuart Goldsmith, the comedian. He talked about how he read The Ethical Slut when he was younger, and he used it as a sort of practical guide of how to have several relationships and have casual sex, but remaining ethical. And it sounded really great. And then also, we've had Dr. Meg John Barker on.
Yeah.
And we've talked to them about I think about rewriting the rules. You know what? The good thing is it was so long ago that I can't even remember. But 2 cracking books. I'm sure they're absolutely great. Right. Do you want another one? One more question for today. How about that?
Go on then.
Man, 40, straight, who shit himself. No. Man, 40, straight, says, hey, great pod. He spelt hey, H-E-J. But I think...
But he's from Norway.
Norway.
And maybe
So is
that's how they spell hey.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, exactly. Because, Because
Johan is a y, but it's a J.
Yeah. Great pod. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
No, that's...
What?
No.
Yeah. Great pod.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't do the voice.
Okay.
Dicks.
As I get older, I am experiencing softer erections. I am healthy for my age, a bit less muscular compared to 20s. To mention up, I am on the big side statistically when it comes to size, 24 centimetres. I'm guessing he means...
I thought he meant how tall he was. I was thinking, you're a miniature.
Yeah. I was thinking, where's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs set?
Diggs!
What? Dude, I just thought, Sleepy or Grumpy had just messaged in. It had become a bit cursed.
It says, it becoming bit cursed with soft erection.
And what do we think that means?
I tried cock ring, but even I am hard this time. I have early erections. I tried yoga for mental health.
Any alternative solution, pills, tantra, etc. I masturbate once a day and have sex with my partner 4 to 5 times a week. Sometimes it doesn't involve penetration. When I was younger, I had porn addiction and used masturbate 4 times a day around late 30s. I got better with intensive focus on mental health. Unfortunately, I'm a child survivor, so it has massive trauma to deal with it. Before I meet with my partner, I used to feel lost and broken. As I got better, I would like to keep our sex life good, even in our 90s. Quick fix would be not masturbate once a day, but I am failing at it. Norway.
Oh, well, Norway. I think that you're expecting a bit much of yourself. When you say, bit less muscular compared to my 20s, yes, that's right. Things change as you get older. Your body does change, and you can't expect to be exactly the same as you were when you were 18 or whatever. It's much more normal to have softer erections as you get older, just not as hard as they used to be, and perhaps take longer to be able to get an erection again after you ejaculate.
Yeah.
That's all normal. And it's normal to not have an erection for the entire session if you're having sex. I mean, if you're concentrating on doing something to your partner, your erection may go, but it doesn't mean you're not feeling aroused, and it doesn't mean you're not still having a good time, and then it won't be easy to get it back. It sounds like you're using sex a bit to self-regulate, which lots of people with a trauma history do. It's not inevitable, but some people do that. Some people use all sorts of things to self-regulate, and things like gaming or drinking or, tantra or yoga or counting to 10 or all kinds of things. Running, very popular.
Running's a big one, yeah.
Running's a big one.
You did look at me when you said gaming. I mean, I'm not really sure where else you're supposed to look.
I was looking at the...
Well, and if you're not looking at me, that is annoying because we are on a Zoom call. So it would be good if you did keep your eyes on me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, eating special food, watching a favourite TV programme, having a hot bath. There are all kinds of ways of self-regulating, obviously.
So not always bad. Those last things sounded quite nice, but the running sounded terrible.
Oh, no, you run all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and you're very, very good at it. But you don't need to feel that any of those things are a problem unless they're a problem. So masturbating every day isn't necessarily a problem unless he feels it's a problem. Because he's still able to be sexual with his partner.
Yeah, all I'd say is that it sounds like, Norway, you have said... quick fix would be to not masturbate once a day, but I'm failing at it. So that makes me think that maybe they are suggesting they think it's a problem, maybe?
Well, I mean, it's probably not the cause of the softer erections. I mean, because that would probably happen anyway.
Yeah.
But it might mean that you can't always go again the same day. That's something that might be happening. But I would say if you have massive trauma to deal with, then I would think about getting that fixed, if you see what I mean. I mean, as much as you can. There are lots of trauma therapists. I mean, I don't know what the situation is in Norway, but we now have the World Wide Web. And you can
the Zoom
find,
we were talking about.
Yeah, we can find a therapist all over the world. So you can find somebody that's good fit for you.
And some amazing trauma therapies, such as your favourite and mine, EMDR.
Oh, yeah.
What's
EMDR is amazing. EMDR is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So, except it isn't.
Sorry?
Because not everybody uses eye movement. But basically, you think about the thing that you have a difficult relationship with, and you do something that involves either eye movement or patting or noise, something. And with the therapist's help, it changes your relationship with the issue so that you look back at it and you think that was awful, but you don't get the stab in the heart. It's awful, glad that's over. And that's it. Not
the fact it was awful is a fact. It's not the deep.
It's not an emotional thing. It takes away the emotion.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Which is, and on it, look up EMDR because you'll hear a lot of people have really benefited from it. Obviously, lots of people will be giving, perhaps mum's clients giving great testimonials about it, but a big testimonial from someone that you may recognise is Jamila Jamil. She's a big advocate of EMDR, absolutely loves it. Every podcast she goes on, she talks about it.
And Prince Harry.
Prince Harry's had EMDR.
Yeah, you've seen him having EMDR. There's been film of him having EMDR on TV.
That's cool, man. Yeah. That is very cool. Yeah.
It also, when it's combined with internal family systems therapy, which is another one about all the little parts of us inside, all the parts of us that have developed ways of us coping that aren't always still as effective as they used to be, like masturbating once a day, for instance. You can work with those parts as well. Now, because I've said that, I just want to be really clear. I have nothing against masturbation.
Yeah.
Or masturbating once a day. It's only a problem if you think it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Which, let's say, because I think we've given some good piece of advice there. May I very crudely distill them into two things, which is you're 40 years old. These things are going to change. Don't worry about it. Don't pathologize being more muscular when you're younger, etc. You're all good there. Secondly, there's some great trauma therapies out there, some great trauma therapists that you can see on Zoom or hopefully in Norway. So go and check that out. But let's say that they did think that the masturbation was a problem. What would you recommend there? Probably more therapy?
Well, yeah, I'd say, trauma therapy is always a good place to start.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It works. So absolutely go for it.
Yeah, we've done episodes as well on things like porn dependency and people with habits around masturbation that they find unhelpful and that isn't quite right for their life. And a lot of the time it's working out the triggers of why that is and noticing those early and making sure that they don't happen again.
Yeah, and finding out ways to self-regulate that are helpful. And often, feeling okay about yourself so that you can ask for what you need from your partner. If you're feeling rotten and you need a hug, rather than insisting on sex, you can just say, I'm feeling rotten and I need a hug. Things like that.
Perfect. Well, if needs be, get back in touch. We always love follow-up pups. So please do let us know.
Also, Norwegian food, roll mops.
Yeah, guys.
Smorgasbords.
I love these two questions today, but there's a serious lack of what you've had for lunch. And I can see Mum, she's absolutely seething.
I'm not seething.
She's not. she's fuming.
But Diggs will tell you how incredibly excited I get when someone sends me a picture of food.
She does. And, I'm still, I don't know, I'm a bit up and down still about sending you food. I think I've gotten better.
Yeah, you don't remember. Despite me prompting you every 5 minutes. Then you don't send them to me. But I take pictures of my own food and also my shopping.
Yeah.
So I should think I need therapy.
You do. Maybe. Well, no, but that's what you do to self-regulate. It's fine. But it is funny. Mum will buy loads of food, come home, lay all the food out on the table, take a picture of it, and then be like, right, let's start putting this away. But it's funny because it's like, get them out of the bags, put it on the table, take a picture, put them back in the bags, and then take them to where they need to go.
Well, no, but that's what people do on TikTok. Except they hold them up to the camera and show it. So
why aren't you making more TikToks?
So I like watching those films of people unloading their shopping, but they have such unhealthy food usually that it upsets me. So I look at mine and I think, healthy.
Well, usually, honestly, please start making TikToks where it's like, hi everyone, just got an absolute haul from Tesco's. And I put up a peace sign and some balloons
appeared.
Flown up my screen. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Please send in your questions to us. We are, of course, at the RSC Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Oh, formerly known as Twitter.
And there you will find in the bio of our social media channels, you will find our anonymous Google form. You'll also find it in the bio of this episode. Also, you can send it in on the email. Listen to that lovely jingle we just heard, and you can send it in podcasts@hattrick.com. Or, I don't know, any business inquiries, send them there as well. If you wanted to, I don't know, sponsor the pod or...
yeah, why not?
Or, we're doing Latitude Festival if you want to invite us to another festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, any public speaking. What else could we do?
Oh,
how else could we make money?
Yeah.
That's how I self-regulate. I make cash.
This is so not true. But anyway, you do things like jumping off buildings and once.
Just did that the once.
When you did jump out of a plane.
I did do that. I wouldn't say that was very self-regulating. Although I'll tell you what, I jumped out of a plane and then after about half a minute, maybe 45 seconds, you sort of go, I've sort of got it now. Do you know what I mean?
Done it now.
You come out 15 seconds, you're like, this is the craziest thing in the world. 15 seconds afterwards, you're like, this is still pretty mad. And about 30, 45 seconds in, you start to go, I am just sort of hanging in there.
Okay, I want to get down now.
Well, it's not that you're scared. You're just sort of like,
bit boring.
The novelty's lost. Yeah. It was up there for 5 minutes, just plummeting.
I know, I was watching. Having a heart attack. My phone went ping and I picked it up and there was Diggs jumping out of a plane. Yeah. So I wasn't expecting that.
Oh dear. Oh, you know what? I know we want to end the episode, but that just reminds me of when we were talking about masturbating, talking about self-regulating, whenever people come into therapy and say that they're into extreme sports, what do you think?
I think they have trauma.
And we'll leave you all with that. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We're going to talk more about my trauma next time. So make sure you're following and you're subscribing, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Diggs, do the balloons again.
Oh, is it the thumbs up? There you go. That's how you do the balloons. Bye.
Bye.